Hello, everyone. Welcome back to CTEC On Air. I'm Scar, and I'm part of the CTEC Cosmetology Program. And today I have one of the lovely CTEC Cosmetology teachers, Hilda Simpson. How are you doing today, Hilda?
Good. How are you, Scar?
I'm doing amazing. Now, let's start off with a simple question.
Great.
Why did you choose to be in the beauty industry?
That is a really good question. When I tell you this story, you probably will have heard it before. I'm also going to bring my feet up so that way they don't dangle anymore. Sorry, guys. Super informal. So I this is a second career for me. I was a social worker and I worked in a domestic violence shelter. And it took a toll. So after my oldest son was born, I decided that I was going to be a stay-at-home mom. And so I was a stay-at-home mom until my youngest was a year and a half. And at about a year, when he was about a year old, so this is like 2011. In 2011, I was just, I don't know, I was just thinking about next steps, and I'd gotten really into makeup, like really, really into makeup. And my husband was like, "Why don't you go to beauty school?" And I was like, what for, like, become a makeup artist? You don't have to go to beauty school to become a makeup artist. And he's like, "Yeah, but like maybe like you want to like have a license to go along with your talent." And so I thought about it. And I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do that, I might as well do everything and get a full license, like get a full cosmetology license. Because if I have a full cosmetology license, I have options. Like I can work from home, there's a whole bunch of things I can do. So I went and enrolled in our local, so I lived in Utah at the time, and they have career technical colleges like CTEC, but it's like for everyone. It's not just for high school students, although high school students do go there.
So high school and above.
High school and above, senior year in high school and above. So I went and enrolled and started in January of 2012, and I went to school for 2 years, like 2 years almost exactly. And I thought I was going to do fine in hair, probably not great in nails, and love aesthetics. My first course was hair. And as I started learning things and doing things, I realized, one, I really enjoy this. And two, I'm good at this. Like, this is actually really fun. And so then I loved that course, was able to start doing hair on the salon floor, and then took aesthetics and nails, and then was able to start doing, those things on the salon floor. So that was really fun. And because I went to school with high school students, I already had experience working and teaching high school students, because you know how much we teach each other.
Yeah.
Like we just do.
And being in part of leadership, I'm able to go to other schools,
Yep.
such as middle schools and elementary, and I get to teach them about our
Yeah.
program.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
So I kind of take your knowledge that you've given to me, and I give it to the younger generation as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, when we moved to Oregon, my sister started working here at CTEC, and there was not an opening. There was no opening. But like it piqued my interest. I'm like, okay, like what do I want to do now? And I started working as an avid tutor, which I loved, by the way. I did middle school. I did Walker and Straub. Enjoyed both schools immensely. Enjoyed being an avid tutor immensely. But anyway, so I knew that I was interested, like I knew that I had interest. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And then this position came open, and I was like, okay, I want this. So I applied, and what attracted Principal Rhodes was my experience having worked with high schoolers already. Like the fact that I felt like they were capable and could definitely succeed in the industry at a young age. So that was my task. My task was to get kids to licensing, and that's been my job ever since.
I love that. Just listening to the journey you've told me, it shows how much you've grown.
Yes.
When you did apply here, did they require any teaching experience? No degree in that?
No. So CTEC, for the industry side of it, is very interesting because we need to be able to teach the like technical skill set,
Mm-hmm.
but we do not have to have a teaching certificate because we get what's called a CTE like endorsement. And so we are able to teach anything that CTE, like any CTE course. You come straight from industry into the classroom. Now, most CTE teachers, like other schools,
Mm-hmm.
they do also have a teaching license. Like they have multiple things. Most of them haven't come from industry straight into teaching. Most of them have some experience on some level. There are a few that went straight in from industry. So that is like I didn't have to have anything.
That's why I asked the question, because when I was in geometry and construction, our teacher, Mr. Robison from McNary, he said, like, yes, I have to have a teaching license along with all these other licenses to teach you guys what to do in construction. It's just very interesting that some people here at CTEC, they don't need that necessarily.
Yes. So in order to get this a certification like endorsement, CTE endorsement, you do have to complete. You have 3 years to complete a certain set of college classes,
Mm-hmm.
and these classes are designed to teach you the basics of teaching. So to complete mine, I actually took a ESOL, which is Teaching English Language Learners course at Corbin. It was a year-long course, and I spent the year learning how to do everything, like how to lesson plan, how to assess, how to help break things down so people can like learn better, how to support students. Because if you're helping someone learn English or learn a language, like you have to be able to break things down to the nitty-gritty, right? So I did that, and again, I thoroughly enjoyed it. My cohort was amazing, and my fellow co-teachers also helped me learn how to become a teacher. In addition to that, at the time, the district had district mentor program. So I had a teacher mentor who would come and meet with me and like teach me things. But we also had a building one. And our building mentor also would work with me to teach me how to do things. So at the time, we had a lot of supports and wraparounds to help us like have an easier transition from, industry into teaching and not feel like we were all thumbs.
I really like that. Now, going back to you in beauty school, what
Mhm.
would you say was your biggest hurdle or your biggest challenge?
Mhm. Okay, this is a good question. So my biggest challenge was the fact that I had 4 children and was also raising my little brother and my little sister. So I was spread very thin, like very, very thin. Um, and when I didn't like my schedule wasn't like I didn't get to choose my schedule. My schedule was given to me. And so the first class I took was I Told You Hair. It lasted for 6 months, and it was in the afternoon from like I don't know, I want to say like 1 o'clock until like 3 or 4, something like that. And so for that first semester, that chunk of time in the afternoon is locked, which makes it really hard when you have like you're trying to like get kids everywhere.
Yeah.
So that was a challenge. Then so I finished that course in the summertime. Then I had planned on taking like aesthetics or nails and working on the salon floor because you are required to work on the salon floor
Yeah.
every single day. And so I I got told that I was going to be taking aesthetics and nails and working the salon floor. So I was at school from 7 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock at night, sometimes 9, like for that entire summer.
So it was almost like a full-time job with a full-time job of taking care of your family.
Yep.
It takes a very strong person.
I'm not going to lie again. Like it was rough. Like it was like, okay, like I'm doing this because I told myself like I can do hard things. And that's become my motto ever since. Like I can do hard things. Um and I just like I mean, I tell you guys the same thing. Like you can do hard things. You're never going to
Mm-hmm.
learn from your successes only. You also learn a lot from your failures. And your failures lead to success, right?
Yeah, and I've failed a lot in the salon, in your classroom, in Amanda's, and I've learned from them.
Mm-hmm.
I've had friends who told me, like, this is something you're doing wrong. You have to figure something out to help it.
Yeah.
And has that worked? Yeah.
Hmm.
So your insight and all that has like reflected on all of us to
Right.
become better, more mature adults,
Yes.
which I really love.
Oh, thank you.
Um, you said you were doing nails in beauty school.
I did
What
nails.
was what do you think about that?
So, I always encourage everyone, if they want this to be their career, to get licensed in everything.
Mm-hmm.
I chose an umbrella license for that reason, because I was like, I might as well do that. Um, in Utah, you're not allowed to do hair
Mm-hmm.
if you don't also do aesthetics and nails. Like, you don't get a choice. If you want to do hair, if you want to work with, in that field, you have to have the other two. And so nails was really, really rough for me because I've never really had the interest. So that's a me thing. But also like the dexterity and the skill. I mean, there's a lot there. There's a lot there. Like these nail techs that I see doing these beautiful sets of nails, I know how talented they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know what they're doing. Like they're creating these little masterpieces on a nail, like a little nail. They're creating just this beautiful art. Um, and so because of that, I grew to really respect the industry. I always respected it before, but I didn't quite understand how challenging it is and how much dedication and skill you have to put in to like getting good.
Yeah.
Like it's like with everything, like you have to build upon, your foundations. And so I had a wonderful, wonderful nail teacher, instructor, Christine. I actually ended up working with her in a salon and doing her hair and her family's hair. But when she was my instructor, she kind of understood that this was really rough for me. And like I entered into the hair world and just kind of landed. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was doing great. Aesthetics, I was already, good at. And so then to come to nails and struggle as much as I was, she really supported and encouraged me through it because here's the thing, I just needed to do it. Like I needed to be able to pass off the skills, like to show that I knew the skills, show that I could pass them off, and then do them on the salon floor. I could choose to not work on humans. I could say, you know what, I'm not giving you a full set of nails because I'm not very good at them.
Yeah.
However, do you want a manicure? Do you want a pedicure?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can offer that. So that was what I ended up doing. And the thing about also being like fully licensed is that you're very, very versatile. Like I could, shampoo someone's hair and wax their eyebrows at the same time at the shampoo bowl. Then I could, give them a manicure. Like I could I could offer every single service. So my client wasn't coming to me for hair and then this person for waxing and then this person for nails. I could offer everything except for the full sets. Those they did have to go to other people, but I could still offer
Yeah.
everything.
And I really like that. I kind of wish I also took aesthetics being a full timer because the more I realize, what if I wanted to be in a dual salon where we also do aesthetics and hair?
Yeah.
I feel like I could have done aesthetics, but also part of me was like, what if I could have done barbering?
Yeah.
Then maybe it's something I want to do in the future. I never know.
Yeah. So remember that for Oregon, aesthetics plus hair design equals barbering.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have the aesthetics piece, then you also have the barbering piece. You have all the skills necessary to be a barber.
That's actually some pretty good information to know about.
Yeah.
And speaking of, you said in Utah you had to have all three.
Mhm.
Is it like that for all states? Because I know Oregon, you have the option to just choose one.
Mm-hmm. I'm most states allow you to do aesthetics and nails without having to do hair.
Mm-hmm.
Most states do not allow you to do hair without the other two.
Yeah.
Um, on some level, like you have to have additional licensing, or additional knowledge in order to be able to do hair.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something that, like I tell kids, if you plan on ever leaving Oregon, you want all three licenses. I have a student who did hair and aesthetics and then right after graduation did nails. And she's been all over the country. Like she went and worked in California, she went and worked in Hawaii, Colorado. Like she's been able to really like move around and have a lot of experiences and still do hair. So, it's been, I don't know, I feel like it's really empowering to have options. Like the more options you have, the better things are for you. Like, or I should say, the easier things are.
I have to agree with that. And with taking the knowledge that of the licenses that you have, what I know, and then comparing it to my mom, who's a retired hairstylist,
Mhm.
because she said what she's been telling me is back then, back in the 60s, I believe. It's a
My
while
goodness. Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
She said Oregon, you'd have to have all three.
Hmm.
And like looking back on how it's like changed over in Oregon over the years from when she was in beauty school to me now in beauty school, it completely changed. Like
Oh,
we don't
100%.
have the requirements of getting all three. We
Mm.
can just choose which one we want,
Yep.
which I find very interesting.
I do too. I find it very, very interesting, mainly because rather than paying for one license,
Hmm.
I have to pay for three.
Yeah. But I can also kind of see some little tweaks that can be changed. Like, I wish I was able to, like, or required sometimes to have all three, because what if I change my mind about doing hair and I want to
Hmm.
surprisingly go into nails or aesthetics?
Yep.
Then I'd have all those three. But I also like that we have the options
Yeah.
of, like, do I just want to do hair, or do I want to do hair and aesthetics or hair and nails?
Yep. Yep. Or aesthetics and nails.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or barbering.
Or barbering. Yep.
Um,
Yeah, no, I agree. It is kind of nice to be able to have the choices, but also sometimes you don't know what you don't know.
yeah.
And so I like that our program is structured the way that it is because everyone has to do everything first year.
Mm.
In first year, you have to learn how to do hair because otherwise the hair kids would never make it. Um, because of how, because we're competency based and our hours are so much restricted, the mark offs that you would normally have to get would normally take you 1,100 hours to do. You guys have less than that. And so in order for you to really be able to, reach the goal of licensing, you have to have excellent attendance and work hard every day, right?
Yeah.
That has to start first year. First day of first year has to start.
And that was like the first thing you told us in your class. Pretty much first day, first week was this is what matters. Attendance, grades. This is what you need to get licensed and to graduate,
Right.
which I love. And comparing like the hours and mark-offs, I like the mark-off system for this school because you have to have over 1,100 hours
Mhm.
and a regular one. I have less than 1,000 hours and I have every single mark-off done.
Yep.
And I'm preparing for licensing, hopefully in the next coming weeks.
Yeah.
I'm super nervous and excited.
It's going to be great.
Hopefully I can get it first try.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the mark-off system.
Mm-hmm.
You're given a certain amount of haircuts, colors, facials, waxings, and you're just like, okay, I need this much. And when I'm done, I'm done. I can just study,
Mm-hmm.
which I really love.
I agree.
Like, what was your opinion on like finding out about the Markov system when you first came here?
So I actually had a system in Utah. Like I probably could have brought in my beauty school binder because I have it.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to keep track of the services that I did because I had a certain number that I had to do of everything for every single clinical. I had to do 10 clinicals.
Mm-hmm.
Each clinical was 100 and something hours. And yeah, and I had a list of requirements that I had to do. I had to go to school for a total of 2,000 hours to finish everything that, all three things, all four things too, because was required to do barbering. But I had a list, and under the list, I had a certain amount. So like perms, I had to have like 7 perms. Haircuts, I had to have 20 haircuts per clinical. Like I'm giving you examples that
Mm-hmm.
because I don't remember exactly anymore. But at the end of each day, I had to take my binder that had this list in it
Mm-hmm.
and to my instructors, along with these little tickets that we would get when we'd start a service. So the ticket would have, like we'd walk up to instructors, get a ticket for the service, and then when we finished, we would have our instructor check it off, and they would initial that we finished that service. So at the end of the day, I'd have to take that along with my tickets to my instructors, and we would go through individually, saying, okay, so like our mark-offs.
Yeah.
Like, how many perms did you get? 3. How many, like whatever.
I think the amount of perms I've done was like 5, and that's all.
Yeah.
Like, in my personal opinion, I don't like perms.
Yeah, they're rough. And you know what? Like, I've permed kind of a lot. Yeah, especially like in beauty school, I permed kind of a lot because I had a client who'd come in every 6 weeks, and she was a curl reforming perm. So I'd do a mild chemical relaxer on her, and then rinse her, wrap her for the perm, and then do mild perm.
Wow.
Yep. And so, like I said, I saw her every 6 weeks through all of beauty school. So like I said, I have experience.
And then having to teach it to kids every single year.
Yep.
How does that work with like comparing like from your first year up until now? Has it gotten easier?
Yes, it has, because I've learned where the pitfalls are. Like, I've learned, like, okay, if I don't break things down to this level, they're going to struggle here, here, and here. Every year is a little bit different, but often the challenges that I see one year, I'm going to see every year.
Yeah.
And so now that I've taught everything to, multiple years of students, I have a really good idea of where I can support you better, both in like learning the skill and also being able to continue to improve on that skill.
Yeah. And I can kind of see that because when you were teaching my class last year, the perms and everything else, I could see you had already had it thought and planned out.
Yep.
And when people would ask questions or you saw someone having difficulties, you'd zone in on that and you'd fix the situation before it could get worse.
Yep.
That's one of the best things I like about you.
Oh, thank you.
Now coming into CTEC, what was it like your first year here?
So I loved the kids. I absolutely adored the kids. They were so, teenage girls were always like super scary in my like world. Like, even when I was one, super scary. And so I thought that I was going to really struggle. And I didn't. I learned that, you know what? Teenage girls are super fun. You just need to treat them like cats. Like, let them come to you. You don't go to them.
I love that. I love that comparison because I can see it. A lot of us girls and some of the guys.
Yeah.
We are we're cat-like.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, my thing is that I'm there. Like, I'm there, I'm available, but like, you tell me like what a relationship looks like. So I have students that I'm super, super, super close to, and then I have students who, maybe I like we have a good teacher-student relationship, but we're not like, you're not coming into my office and hanging out. Yeah, like, that's fine. So yeah, but I absolutely adored the kids.
And I'm sure they really adored you.
Yeah.
Because the vibes you gave off when I first saw you was mother hen vibes. Like, I was instantly like attracted towards you in like comfort, safety, and knowledge. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the students in my class felt the same way.
Oh.
Because whenever we talk about you and the teachers, we're all just like, they're so sweet, they're so kind, they make me feel like I belong here. Whereas, say, in my residential school, most of the teachers are just like, okay, this is what you need to do. Let's stay on point. And there just doesn't bring in some good vibes.
I could see how you'd feel that way. I just really believe that establishing a healthy culture creates a very healthy program. So, being the culture that we've created is a culture where everyone can work with everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone feels safe and supported. And, like my classes are friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys spend 2 years together.
Yeah.
So, you guys just become super, super close
Mm-hmm.
and you're friends.
And even with, like, say, in my class, say there's someone you don't like.
Mhm.
We still are civil and we'll talk. And
Mhm.
maybe in the future we might be friends.
Exactly.
It's just the comfort of being in a classroom with teachers such as you, Amanda, Steph, Rachel. It just brings everybody together.
Mhm.
We're just like a big family.
We're just a big family. We're just a big family. And it's, I feel like it's one of those things where like you said, like maybe you don't like that person right now, but you
Mm-hmm.
will,
Yeah.
or maybe you won't. But you're still civil. You can still work together.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if anyone picks on that person, you're going to defend them
Yeah.
because they're your family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is we just create an environment where you are willing to support each other, even if maybe you clash.
Mm-hmm. And like say something happened to that person you don't like, I would still go and defend him and say, hey, that's not right. They're still a human being.
Exactly. Exactly.
I may not like them, but they still have feelings, and
Mhm.
their feelings are valid.
Their feelings are very valid. Yeah, exactly.
Mm. Now, being in CTEC, what would you say is your biggest challenge here?
Not having enough time to do everything that I want to do. Like every single year, I have this list of all these things I want to accomplish. And getting them squeezed into the amount of time that we have
Mm-hmm.
is always hard because everything has value, everything has merit. And it's a matter of deciding, like, okay, this is important, this isn't. So, the perfect example is we always talk about how we wish we could spend more time on like texture services, specifically like braiding,
Mm-hmm.
braiding and, working within like that hairstyling area. And we really can't because
Mm-hmm.
hairstyles, you need 105,
Yeah.
105, and that's it. But you also need 160 haircuts and 180 chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
Like you still have other things to do. So if your goal is licensing, can we spend an 8-week unit?
Not really.
Not really. Like we kind of have to like move through everything really quickly. So you guys learn how to shampoo first and then style. You learn several different basic hairstyles, and then we add in haircuts. Then we take a break and do manicures and pedicures.
Mm-hmm.
This year, yeah. Anyway, then we finish haircuts and we move on to color and then texture services, meaning like perms, relaxers. And then the school year's over.
And like during the holiday bazaar, you have a very slim chance, because I remember last year we had only a week to learn mini facials for
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yep.
And I feel like it was rushed because we had to split the class in
Mm-hmm.
half.
Yep.
And we only had, what, 2 days worth?
Yep.
So we only got one class on it.
You only got one class on it. So, first years, I will repeat mini facials because I do teach them mini facials for the bazaar. I will repeat mini facials, and then I'm going to teach manicures and pedicures during the month that they are in the salon in the mornings, like when we flip their schedules.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when those schedules get flipped, and they're running the salon in the mornings, I'm going to still do some teaching and pop those things back in. But like last year, your class didn't even make it to uniform layer haircut. You guys learned it this year.
And it felt weird learning a new haircut in my second year because
Yep.
I'm like, wait, we could have learned this last year, but we didn't have the time.
We ran out of time. So it's like making sure that you pace things in a way that allows you to continue. So rather than doing manicures and pedicures in November like your class did, this class continued with haircuts. So that way I could make sure to get through all the basic haircuts. I made it to uniform layer, but this month I get to teach clipper cuts.
Something we didn't get to learn last year. And that's stuff that my class we get to learn mainly on industry days.
Yep.
Or unless you're a full-timer like me, you join the barbers in some of their demos.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, it's just time is always a challenge. Also for us, space.
Mm-hmm.
Like we are bursting at the seams. Like all of our storage rooms are full. Our classrooms are full. There's too many people in them. Like, we are just bursting at the seams. And so space is always an issue. Space is always going to be an issue. Like that's not going anywhere.
I always view it as a chaotic flow.
It's a chaotic flow.
Because I remember this year I was helping, I remember in dispense, I was standing on the counter putting toners in. And then a few weeks ago, I have pictures of this. I was helping Rachel like take most of the toners out, combine what the same toners were, and then taking all those empty toner bottles to the front desk just to scan them.
Yep.
I scanned over $600 worth of items.
Wow.
That was how much was in there.
Yep. And that's the empties. That's
That
not
just the empties.
That's not counting what's also inside.
Yeah, we have over thousands of dollars in the storage rooms and dispense. It just shocks me of how much it's gonna cost.
Yeah. Yep.
But my one question is it worth it?
So I believe that it's worth it. I think my students believe it's worth it. Especially the ones that are in industry and have stayed in industry, they have really, flourished in their careers.
Mm-hmm.
I have a student who, and I don't know if he's still there, but he, last time I ran into him, he was the lead stylist at Ulta.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My second year class. Like look at him go.
Yeah.
So, and I can give you multiple examples of that.
Mm-hmm.
Last night I went to my son's track meet at North, and I ran into so many current and past students.
Wow.
Yeah, I ran into so many, and even the ones that aren't currently working in the salon.
Mm-hmm.
Are still grateful to have that license and to be able to say, you know what, this isn't quite for me, but I have it.
Do any of your former students ever reach out to you?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. So I have a few that we so I go to coffee sometimes, they'll invite me out for a coffee. Yep. I have several students that just reach out and, want to spend time outside of school.
I really like that because hearing you say that, they value you and other teachers' information. They value you as a person so much that they're just like, hey, I miss you. Do you want to go get coffee?
Yep.
I feel like I might be one of those students.
Definitely.
Because for me, I value my teachers a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Even the ones I don't like. I value what information they give to me.
Yes.
And what really is pushed me through cosmetology is you and the other teachers. And it's even pushed me to, and I've taken my next steps of becoming a CTEC alumni.
Awesome.
Which I'm super excited for because I get to come back and I actually get to see the new kids come in and I get to show them, teach them things that I know, things that you guys taught me, new things that I'm learning.
Mm-hmm.
Because as one of our industry partners said, I believe Veronica from Sports Clips, you have to have at least one educational class a year if you're going to be in the industry, which even my mom agrees because she had to do that when she was a hairstylist.
Yep. So even before I became a teacher, I was seeking out educational opportunities. I took multiple classes. I took a very intensive cutting class from Philip Wilson, who was one of the founders of Vidal Sassoon. And just brilliant man. And I really, really enjoyed it. But it was a completely different way of cutting hair because he doesn't like to touch the hair. So he uses combs for everything. He doesn't touch everything. So I had to learn how to apply tension using multiple combs.
That's actually really
interlocking
cool,
combs. Yeah, right? That is super cool. I had to learn how to do that. I took multiple balayage classes because when I was leaving beauty school, balayage was just becoming big. So I started learning it, but I wasn't actually like, I was still figuring it out.
Yeah.
So I took multiple balayage classes. I took classes on fashion shades. So, like our fairy hair, extensions. I just like continue to seek out education, even though I wasn't required to. And you know what? It really made a difference in like my salon settings because like I entered a salon and the stylist had been working forever and ever and ever. And they had a solid clientele. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were, making great money. But one of my friends saw me taking classes. And so then she started taking classes. And so then even though she'd been working at this point for 27 years, she started like pushing herself and learning different things. And I think that it's really fun to be able to like remind people because sometimes it's not about, teaching someone something. It's more about like reminding them. Principal Rhodes actually talked about this a little while ago, how in our professional developments, she'll put together some type of like learning, like we always learn something new.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's a reminder of things we used to do. It's like, oh yeah, I used to do this and I was really good at it. Why did I stop? Because things change.
Yeah.
Like I tell you sometimes that like the way that I cut hair depends on my mood.
Yeah.
The way that I like do things depends on my mood. Like maybe I'm going to hold my comb to foil this way. Maybe I'm going to hold it that way. Like it totally depends on me. And so sometimes just like changing it up keeps things fresh. And also getting new tools is super fun. I'm always on the lookout for a good new tool.
I'm super excited to buy my first pair of shears.
Oh my goodness. So fun. Tools are super, super fun. I love nerding out on them. I love nerding out on everything to do with skincare. In general, like, so I think that you guys especially know this, but I am a giant nerd. I can sit down with someone and have a hours long conversation about sci-fi movies, fantasy, like action. I can talk about games, books. I love Star Trek, like a lot, specifically Next Generation. Like, I love it. I can talk to someone forever about Jean-Luc Picard. And so, like, that also applies to my cosmetology world. I love learning. I love learning everything to do with that. I love getting new tools. So even though I have no desire to do nails, I love watching nails. And if you let me, I will absolutely collect things just to try it.
I love that because whenever I do my own nails, like press-ons, whether I buy them or I make them myself, I figured out this is not a weird thing. It's very common in the beauty industry, but I have a little bucket that I put all my nails, like previous nails that I've worn in. And I found out it's not weird. It's pretty common to save those because these are also videos I watch on YouTube is these girls or nail techs, they'll have this bucket. They'll grab a random one and say, this is 4 years old and I'm going to remake it. And I want to see if I can do better. Yeah. And I feel like that's kind of what I'm doing, despite not having a big interest in nails. Right. But it's very interesting. Yep. That's like one of my antics as a nerd.
Yeah. 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 So, yep. So you totally understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm a big nerd myself.
Love it.
Especially with movies.
Oh my goodness.
But that also brings me with our industry days. I love them.
I do too.
Most of the days when we have them, do I have the energy for it? No. But I'm still there and I'm still learning. And one thing that I realized that I fell in love with about the beauty industry is the marketing behind it.
Oh, yeah.
Only having 3 classes with it, like learning about it, and I'm in love. I want to learn more. Yep. And that's what is making me double down on my college choice of majoring in business management. Because my parents used to be small business owners.
Mhm.
What if I want to own my own salon? Or
Exactly.
because I'm going to get my tattoo license, what if I want to own a salon and a tattoo parlor?
Awesome. That sounds incredible.
What my mom and dad have always told me is that you never know when you're going to need it, but
Mhm.
if you want it, go learn it and get that.
Yep.
So I'm just getting an associate's degree, but that's a big milestone for
That's
me.
a huge milestone.
Getting my hair design license in a few weeks, hopefully, that's my biggest goal right now.
Exactly.
That's what's pushing me forward to being the person I want to be.
Yep.
Because if you'd asked me when I was younger, before I even knew what CTEC was, I'd have said, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm probably just going to stay home with mom and never move out.
Yeah. You know, I also love our industry days because I love having them come in and sometimes teach the exact same things that we've taught, but in a different way that resonates with someone else, right? And so that's always incredible. But like the last time that Ellen from Redken came in, so I took that class several times, with every single group.
Yeah.
When every single class that she taught, I learned something new. Every single class, like I have pages and pages of notes on shades EQ, which I know like the back of my hand.
Yeah.
But I still found so many things that she said to be things that I needed to like I needed reminders on. I needed,
Yeah.
or found interesting. Dermalogica, Angela, when she comes in, I like absolutely learn new things. Like every single time she teaches me something new. So it's really cool to like be able to bring these people in, and you guys are learning things, but so am I.
Yeah. And I love that because you are our teachers, but it also feels like you're a student with us.
Yep.
And the one thing I do love about like being here is that we're treated almost like we're coworkers in a way.
Mhm.
Like you're our boss and we're just working for free.
Yep, for free.
But hey, it's worth it. I love that dynamic here at CTEC. I don't know if it's like this for all programs, but especially with cosmetology, like I feel more seen, heard, and appreciated. That I'm being treated almost like an equal with my teachers, but that I can have conversations such as these with a teacher where at my resident school, that's deemed weird. That's deemed creepy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
here,
I agree.
there's no second thought. You're just like, at home, I'm just like, hey, this is what me and Hilda did. This is what me and Steph talked about. It's normal now.
It's totally normal.
It's also still a little weird that I can call you guys by your first names. That's what shocked me the first day I came here. You're just like, you can just call us this. I'm like, wait, what?
Yep. That was established before I got here. So when I arrived, I walked into this and I cannot tell you how weirded out I was. Like, I mean, it's 100% salon culture. Like there's no, Mrs. Simpson. There is Hilda, right?
Or if some girls and some of the barbers want to be polite, it's Miss Hilda or Miss Steph.
Yep.
And I love that.
Yep. Exactly. Like that is just a salon world. And so it makes perfect sense to me. It just weirded me out that I was the teacher, but not called Mrs. Simpson because I wasn't used to that. But it fell into place really quickly. Yeah, I agree. Like the ability that for us to like have a camaraderie is incredible because again, it helps build salon culture.
Yeah.
So this is absolutely like not to say that the other programs are not incredible because they are. Every single program here is special, dynamic, does their thing. But I did have a sub who has been in other programs say to me recently, you know what? You guys are dealing with like the real world. Like, because we don't like if we have a color correction, like if we have a human that's a color correction, that is real world. Where, sometimes things happen in an ideal setting in other places. Like you don't like you might get a like real world scenario, but you're not working on a human.
But we are. And like having the real world come in. When I had my first client on the first day salon opened this year, I was terrified because it was my first men's cut.
Yep.
But I nailed it.
Yeah.
And one of my last clients that I had, it was a root retouch with partial highlights.
Mhm.
I didn't know what I was doing. I was terrified. But having Steph and Rachel there to help me
Mhm.
and just say, like, hey, this is what you need to do. I love that little crutch. And
Yeah.
what terrifies me after graduation is when I do get into a salon, I'm not going to have that crutch anymore. I'm not going to have to go to a teacher and say, hey, can you check on my client, see if I did well? It's all up to me.
It's true. So, we were talking to Veronica, recently, and we were talking about how, including her, strongly encourage students to go and do apprenticeships,
Mm-hmm.
To work under stylists, just like to continue to have support, because when you have support, you're able to grow at an like you're able to blossom as opposed to
Yeah.
like being forced, to bloom. Um, Also going into corporate settings helps a lot too because there's built-in supports, like for example, sports clips.
Yeah.
Veronica works for corporate, and her entire job is to support the stylists in their skill building. That's her entire job. If someone's struggling, she works with them.
And I love that. And I feel like I'm one of the few kids in my class to say this out loud, but when I go start in a salon, I want to start as an apprentice or as an assistant. And I want to slowly work my way up to maybe owning my own business, renting or owning a chair.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take that slow journey of getting better and better and better.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, my opinion in the beauty industry, there's no such thing as perfect.
No, there's not.
There's just practice and get better.
Yep.
That mountain is just going to keep going up. There's no end.
There's no end. There's no end. Another thing to look at is trying to go for a Summit salon, because Summit has like a tier system, like a level system. And so you start off as, like maybe an apprentice or assistant. Actually, you start off as an assistant, then level 1, level 2, level 3.
Yeah.
And as you progress, you have supports built in.
Yeah. And that's kind of why I want to do is like, well, I'm going to learn the position I have. And then once I moved up, I get to learn again.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it's always a learning experience, always educational. Like I said earlier, I fell in love with marketing side of things. And you never know. I might switch from being hairstylist to being part of the marketing part of the beauty industry.
Absolutely. That's a thing too. The beauty industry is so large and there's so many different components. Again, the more versatile you are, the more options you have.
And so I want to end this off with saying, with your cosmetology students now, if they're watching, what's some advice you'd want to give them?
The biggest advice that I give everyone is the only license I regret getting is the one I didn't get. So the fact that I did not go on to become an advanced esthetician is a regret that I have, because it was available for me. It meant 4 more months of school. And now trying to go back to that is virtually impossible because I can't go to school. Like it's impossible for me to teach and go to school.
Yeah.
And so, my biggest piece of advice is, the license that I didn't get is the one that I regret.
Yeah.
And also just be willing to put yourself out there. Be willing to say, okay, like you did, I want to be an apprentice. Like I want someone to help support me as I grow.
Yeah.
Like be willing to take those kind of risks, because I mean, it's one thing to say, okay, I'm going to go rent a chair, and that is a risk. But it's another thing to be vulnerable and say, I need support still, so I'm going to seek this.
Yeah. There's no harm in asking for help. And then I feel like that's one of the biggest difficulties people have these days.
I agree.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for sitting down, having this conversation with me. I had so much fun listening to your journey, to what advice you had, and everything that in between of that.
Yeah.
So I want to say thanks for coming again, Hilda.
Of course.
And for those watching, you have a wonderful morning or night. Bye.